Human growth hormone, or HGH. What is it? Human growth hormone is a naturally occurring growth hormone of humans, or a genetically engineered form that is used to treat children with growth hormone deficiencies and has been used by athletes. HGH uses and treatments. HGH was developed in 1985, and the FDA approved the drug to be used by children and adults for the following medical conditions: Turner syndrome, a genetic disorder that affects a girl's development; Prader-Willi syndrome, a rare genetic disorder causing constant hunger, low levels of sex hormones, and poor muscle tone; chronic kidney HGH uses and treatments. Part 2. HGH deficiency or insufficiency, children born small or for gestational age. In adults, approved uses of HGH including short bowel syndrome, HGH deficiency, and muscle wasting disease associated with HIV. HGH possible side effects. There's nerve, muscle, or joint pain, swelling due to fluid in the body's tissues, carpal tunnel syndrome, numbness and tingling of the skin, and high cholesterol.
So this part of presentation, I'll be talking about insulin, and yeah, basically that's what it is. I'm gonna be talking about insulin. So this slide it just explains what is insulin. It's like a hormone created by the pancreas. Insulin is used to keep blood sugars under control, and it helps prevent high blood sugar. Too much insulin can result in low blood sugar. So, whenever a person gets diabetes, they're not either can't produce insulin at all or produce not enough. With type 1 diabetics, they need to inject insulin to survive. Literally, it's still basically life support. People with type 2 diabetes, on the other hand, don't necessarily have to take insulin injections. Some of them still produce enough insulin and keep their diabetes under control to where they don't even have to take insulin injections. Some do, but some take just other medications to keep their blood sugars under control. Okay, this part describes the history of insulin. I divided it into multiple parts since it all won't fit in one slide. In 1921, a scientist and his assistant figured out how to remove insulin from a dog, and then use that insulin to treat another dog with diabetes. 70 days later, the dog died because they ran out of insulin. So a year later after the discovery, a boy who was dying from dangerously high blood sugar level received the first human injection of insulin. His blood sugars went from dangerously high to near normal. The news about the boy's case and how he recovered spread like wildfire, and both Frederick and his assistant Charles Best won the Nobel Peace Prize due to the discovery. And not too long after this, many other companies like Eli Lilly and others started producing their own insulin. So one type of delivery to deliver insulin into a person is by syringe. It's like a device that has a hole center, a plunger, a needle, and a needle guard that a person removes to inject insulin. Removes from needle guard, not the needle. These are just tips I mentioned on using a syringe to inject insulin, just in case if you have to do it to someone else someday. Don't share syringe, don't reuse syringe. Get rid of syringe in a sealable container. Here is something I use personally is to deliver insulin. It's for insulin pen. It looks like a pen, but it is a huge improvement over the syringe, and it helps people to avoid over or underdosing. And different companies manufacture the insulin pen. Here's just some information about each pen. Some don't require refrigeration after using it for the first time. Some are pre-filled and disposable. Each insulin pen is different, depends on what type of insulin pen you use. Here are some tips to use expose how good the insulin is, how good or bad the insulin is. Don't carry insulin pen with a needle attached. Don't share needles or pens. And like syringes, depose insulin pens in a sealable container. Okay, one, I'm sorry I didn't include an image of an insulin pump. Um, but insulin pump is another way to deliver insulin. It's attached to the skin. It's not inside the skin, and it's used by people who have trouble controlling their blood glucose levels, and sometimes the insulin pumps act like a CGM, continuous glucose monitor. Like I said, located it's attached to them on the skin like a CGM. Insulin pumps help prevent overdosing and is filled with rapid and or short-acting insulin, and there are small amounts of insulin that can last 24 hours inside an insulin pump. There are many types of insulin. There's rapid insulin and short-acting insulin, and others I'm going to mention in another slide, but I don't have time to say to go over it, but you can read on here what how each insulin is different due to only 30 seconds. But here are the last two types of insulin. You can pause if you need to read them, but okay, here's some examples of insulin. Um, three of them over one. I put three of them over what I use. I use Emelog, and Lantus. Lantus, I always been using it since I was diagnosed. While for Rapid, I keep going back to Hemlog and Emelog and back to Hemlog. The last few slides are just for credits, and there was so many I couldn't fit them into one slide, so I just made it into 3 slides showing the credits. So I hope you enjoyed my presentation.